Hi, everyone. Okay, so for the sermon today, I made a presentation that incorporates the text into it. So the New Testament scripture will be in the presentation. And I thought I'd open up maybe explaining a little bit about myself to people who don't know. I've talked to most people here, but I realize there's other people I haven't really got to know as much. So I put a little video together that I want to show you guys that just gives a little background about me and stuff. Just to give a background about me and like my spiritual journey and about Haiti and why I feel like I'd be a good person to go there and stuff. And so
go back up to the mic, please.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, please. Repeat it.
Okay. So I just I put this presentation together to give a little background about myself and my spiritual journey. And where I come from, and to explain why I think I would be a good match to go to Haiti and stuff. And so I was thinking maybe I could do it down there, though, because I can't really see the PowerPoint from right here.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah, just you come down and start talking.
Okay.
See if I can film myself.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, early in my life, I was baptized Presbyterian when I was born. And that was mostly my dad's wish. And my dad passed away when I was 10 months old. So I didn't really grow up with any...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you put this in, kind of attach it to
Yeah.
On the switches right there.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. So I didn't really. I grew up believing in God. My mom, she'd always have me pray at night. 3 things I was thankful for, and that really stuck with me as a kid. I would always do that every night. And so I grew up not disbelieving in God, but not really growing up in a church. We tried going to several different types of churches, but me and my family, we never really found one that really clicked with us. And I didn't really understand it as a kid. because I wasn't really brought up in like a traditional Christian household. But we did. My mom always instilled a really good sense of morals in me that I had throughout my life, and I really credit her for that, and I really thank her for that. Many of the people who I knew coming into middle school and high school who were active in church, I kind of felt like they would say one thing and do another. I won't say the name of the church, but I went there, and it seems like on Sundays they'd be talking about not, staying away from drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, and staying out of trouble. And it seemed like a lot of those people were the ones doing that very thing, whereas I wasn't doing that. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm not doing that stuff, and they're doing that, and they're the ones who are going to church, that didn't really make any sense. So after that point, I don't really know exactly when it happened, but around when I was 14 or 15, I didn't believe in any higher power or anything at that point, and I became an atheist at that point. And so there's the John scripture right there, because this is going to tie into what comes next. And it says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love." And so that's going to come in just a second. So around my 19th birthday, I was actually supposed to be 18th. That's a typo.
2 years ago.
Yeah, around my 18th birthday, a series of traumatic events happened. That if anyone wants to talk to me afterwards, I'd like to have a personal conversation about it. But it really shook up my life. I was around the end of high school, and it left me feeling just depressed. I had really bad anxiety. I would just a lot of really bad stuff was going on in my life around that time. And after about 9-10 months of it, I eventually one night, after high school, I moved up to Davis. And so I moved up there with my best friend and his girlfriend. So one night I was in my apartment alone, and it was a really tough time in my life. And I don't know what came over me. I'd been an atheist for about 4 years at that point. I just didn't think religion was for me. And I can't explain what happened, but a feeling came over me where I knew that I needed the help of a higher power. And so that night I knelt down and prayed for the first time in probably 6 or 7 years. So that was a major moment in my life. And that night I asked God not to fix everything, but just to help me maybe get a step forward the next day, to feel a step better. And the next day I woke up, and I can't. Those of you who've had an experience with the Spirit, it's not really something you can explain. It's something you feel. And that next day, I felt a little better. And so that night, I thanked the Lord for how He had helped me, and I asked for Him to help me again. And the next day, I felt a little better. And I've been doing that for over a year now, and I've come so far since then. It's really indescribable how much it's helped. So yeah. And then at the times when I feel the closest to the Spirit is when two things. It's when I'm traveling and when I'm helping others. As you saw from my video, I like to go on backpacking trips a lot. I've been on several ones where it's camping in the outdoors, and I also went on one by myself this summer for a week to Seattle, and then for 4 days, and then I took the Amtrak up to Vancouver, and I stayed up there for a couple days, and I stayed at hostels along the way, and I didn't know anyone going up there, and I met the best friends I've ever met in my life, and we still keep in touch on Facebook and stuff. So that was a really awesome experience, and while I was up there, I actually went to the Methodist church up there that Sunday to see that, so that was really cool. And yeah, so I've been coming to this church for about 8 months now. My experience with God happened several months before when I lived up in Davis, but I moved back to Brentwood this semester for school. And I'd been looking into different churches that kind of fell into like my line of view and stuff like that. And I took an online quiz actually that said like what Christian denomination are you? And I was like, okay, I'll try this. And yeah, I took 2 or 3 quizzes, and for some reason it kept going to the Methodist Church. I guess you guys are cool. I don't know what what it was, but so I thought about it, and then after about a month's worth of thinking, I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to go try it out. So I came here this summer. It was in like mid-June, I think, and yeah, that's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I've been so happy here. All of you people are incredible. The fun I've had from going to Glide or working on the gardens to just getting coffee with Pastor Alexis and helping out and stuff. It's really been amazing. It's really close to me. So this is something I really cherish. So moving on to Haiti. As you know, things are bad, to say it nicely, in Haiti right now. I went up to the meeting in Dixon with John Curry, who's the leader for the trip. He went last year with Patty and Lisa, and we saw what the conditions are like there and stuff, and their schools, their prisons, their government offices, they're all just in ruins. So there's really no operational government right now, and the only thing supporting the people are NGOs, which charities and nonprofits and groups like that. There's a picture of Port-au-Prince, the capital. As you can see, everything is just completely in ruins. The buildings there weren't really made that well in the first place, and then when the massive earthquake came, everything just went down from there. There's a picture of their main government building that's like the equivalent of the Haitian White House, and as you can see, it's completely destroyed, and that still hasn't been fixed yet, I don't think. So the people are in need of a lot of help there. And so you're probably thinking, why send Mason there? What could he do? This 20-year-old kid. But I think there is a lot I can do. On the mission, we're going to be helping make a church. So it's a 10-day trip, and so we're going to be working on building the church and working with children there. And for a lot of them, like I was telling the kids earlier, they can't afford school out there. There's not really a public education system. So there are classes they would take on Sunday school. For most of those children, that's the only classes that they're able to have. So that's a really big part of their lives. And the churches are the center of the communities out there. That's where people come for everything. And so being able to help repair a church or build a new one there, we don't know what the assignment is quite yet. I think I'd be really good for that because me and my grandfather, he owns property up north in a place called Fiddletown. If any of you have ever heard of it, there's actually a fiddle downtown, a massive fiddle. It's where it gets its namesake. But anyways, I helped my grandpa out a lot on his property, building stuff. We built our deck in our backyard together. So I've been around tools and stuff my whole life. So I think I'd be really good at helping that, building the church. I've also been to that area of the world before. My stepfamily is Puerto Rican, so I've been to Puerto Rico twice. So I've been to the Caribbean before. And we stayed at my grandparents' place. It wasn't like a hotel. It was an actual house in the middle of the jungle. So I have that experience. And I like working with kids. My mom's a first grade teacher at Cray Elementary, so I helped in her class a lot. I played as you can see in the slide there was a shot of me wearing sunglasses and a crown. That's my alter ego, Zero the Hero. On the 100th day of school for the past 4 years, I've come in and fought number crime for her classes. So I like working with kids a lot and stuff. And yeah, it's ridiculous, I know. And another skill I have is I've been doing video filming and editing and stuff since I was about a sophomore in high school, and ever since then I've been taking video classes and stuff, and I have my own camera. And I made that video to show a little bit about me, but also to show my video editing skills and filming skills. Those are all shot by me on my trips that I've taken. If I was when I go to Haiti, I want to document the trip. I think it'd be really cool to have it like interviews with the people from the people with our church and stuff like that, and the people we meet, and to show people what it's like there. And I think a really good video would do it a lot of justice. So that's why I think I'd be really good for this trip and how I can make a difference. And I think it would be really fulfilling for me to be able to do something like this, because this is the kind of thing I've always dreamed of. Like when they came up to me and asked if I'd want to go to Haiti, I was like, yes. I didn't even think about anything else. I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. Because afterwards, after college, I want to be a teacher eventually, but I want to travel, I want to help, I want to maybe join the Peace Corps or something like that. So this is just up my alley. This is something I think I'd be really good at. And there's just some pictures of me working with my grandpa on the property up there. And yeah, and it all connects back to the church by sending missionaries out there. You all are helping improve the lives of people there. Our money that we spend out there goes to provide jobs to the locals and stuff like that. The money we're spending out there, it provides business for them. It gives them the church, which will give them, at least at the very least, hope that things are going to get better and it'll get their lives back to somewhere normal. I watched a documentary about Haiti, and it showed a lot of the stuff is still in ruins out there, and people are like, why haven't they rebuilt yet? But a lot of those people, they lost entire families on that day, and things are starting to get on track there now because people are finally able to kind of process all that. Because I was talking to the kids, like, imagine if you were to wake up and everything around you was completely in ruins, and you had to completely rebuild, and you lost your loved ones, you lost everything, and if you didn't even have that much to begin with. So the church, I think, is a great thing for the community, and also by documenting it and stuff, maybe hopefully we can inspire people to want to go next year and the year after that and stuff, or maybe do other mission trips wherever your heart takes you. So for the trip, the goal is to raise $1,600 for the trip to get, and that includes the flight, and that includes the materials down there. We're helping them get the materials. That includes everything for 10 days, the complete food and housing. And I guess the food's really good from what I hear from Patty and Lisa and John. So, and I like mangoes, so we're good there. I hear those are, yeah. Any financial contributions, anything would be greatly appreciated. So it'll get me a step further to being able to go there and help everyone in need. And I promise to provide an even better video than the one I showed you from my trip, documenting everything, and just to give you a taste of what it was like to be out there. So yeah, that's everything.